All right, let's talk about social selling. You hear this term thrown around constantly, right? But for so many people, it's basically become a green light for really spammy connection requests and just awkward automated sales pitches. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise and get to what social selling actually means, and more importantly, how you can do it the right way. So, right off the bat, let's just bust the biggest myth out there. Social selling is not about selling on social media. The real pros, the people who live and breathe this stuff, will tell you it's about one thing: building relationships. It's about educating your audience and building trust so that when the time is right, the conversation just naturally moves offline. That's the whole point. And the opportunity here, well, it is just absolutely massive. LinkedIn recently blew past 1 billion users globally. Think about that. This platform is no longer just a digital resume. It's the B2B town square. It's a marketplace of ideas, connections, and real opportunities. So the question isn't if your audience is on LinkedIn. Trust me, they are. The question is, how do you actually connect with them in a meaningful way? So here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll kick things off with the core paradox of social selling. Then, we'll walk through a really simple but powerful 3-part framework: embrace, engage, and educate. After that, we'll check out a power tool that can supercharge our efforts, and we'll wrap up with a look at what the future of all this holds. Now, to make this all super actionable, we're going to lean on a framework from a social selling expert named Con Sotidis. It's brilliant because it gives your efforts a real structure, so you're not just, randomly connecting with people and hoping for the best. And here it is. Super simple to remember. The 3 E's: embrace, engage, and educate. Embrace is all about building your personal brand. Engage is where you master the art of conversation, and educate is how you position yourself as the go-to expert in your field. So, let's break down each one. All right, Act 1, embrace. Before you do anything else, you have to get your own house in order. Think about it. Every time you post or leave a comment, what's the first thing people do? They click on your name to check out your profile. That profile is your digital handshake, and it needs to be firm. And here's a perfect example. Look at the difference. Business Development Manager, okay, that's your title, but it doesn't tell me anything. But the headline on the right, it immediately answers the only question a prospect cares about: what can you do for me? This tiny shift is everything. It frames you as a problem solver, not just another person with a job title. So here's your quick and dirty checklist for a profile that actually works. You need a professional banner, a clear headshot where you're actually smiling, that value-driven headline we just talked about, and a featured section to show off your best stuff. But the last item on the list, that's the secret weapon: recommendations. And this quote from Consotidis just nails why they're so important. The entire rest of your profile is just you talking about how great you are. But the recommendations section, that's the only place where other people put their own reputation on the line to vouch for you. It's the ultimate social proof. In fact, a lot of savvy people will scroll right past everything else on a profile just to read what others have said about you. Okay, so once your brand foundation is solid, it's time to move to Act 2. Engage. This is where you go from having a static digital billboard to being a dynamic presence in your community, building real relationships through real conversations. I mean, we all know this intuitively, right? A cold message out of the blue is so easy to ignore. But an introduction from someone you both know and trust, that's a whole different ballgame. It gets a response almost every single time. It proves your network isn't just about who you know, it's about who they know. But what if you don't have that mutual connection? Well, here is a fantastic, non-aggressive strategy. Instead of sending a cold connection request, first, just follow the person. Then, start interacting with their posts. Leave a thoughtful comment. Show that you're genuinely interested. Then, after a few days, you can send a personalized request that mentions their content. And please, for the love of all that is good, do not pitch them in that message. So how do you find those perfect moments to reach out? It's all about social listening. You're looking for triggers. Did someone in your target market just change jobs? Did their company win an award? These moments give you the perfect natural reason to start a conversation, making your message timely and, most importantly, relevant. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, Act 3. Educate. This right here is the pinnacle of social selling. It's where you shift from being just a participant in conversations to becoming a trusted voice that people actually seek out for advice. This is where you truly establish yourself as a thought leader. Your content becomes the proof of your expertise. You stop selling a product and you start sharing valuable knowledge, which is infinitely more powerful. This is what makes people want to talk to you. So, what does that look like in practice? Well, some of the best formats right now are things like short-form video, and I mean raw, authentic stuff, not some overproduced ad. Document carousels, those little slidable PDFs, are fantastic for breaking down complex topics. Polls are a super easy way to gather intel. And hey, if you don't have time to create original content, just share something great and add your own unique perspective. But through all these tactics and formats, there is one golden rule that you absolutely cannot forget. Be authentic. As sales expert Tom Boston says, you have to be unapologetically yourself. People connect with real people, not with corporate robots. Your unique personality isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's your greatest competitive advantage. Now, once you've really mastered the embrace, engage, and educate framework, there's a tool that's designed to put the whole thing on steroids. It's called LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and it's the premium platform built specifically for sales professionals to do exactly this. And the results? Well, they pretty much speak for themselves. A major study by Forrester found that companies using Sales Navigator see a jaw-dropping 312% return on their investment over 3 years. This isn't just a slight improvement. For many sales teams, it's a complete game changer. So how does it do it? A huge part of it is just plain efficiency. That same study found that users save, on average, 65 hours a year. I mean, what could you do with an extra week and a half of work time? That time comes from spending way less time prospecting, easier lead nurturing, and a whole lot less manual data entry. It pulls this off with some incredibly powerful features. The advanced search filters let you pinpoint your ideal customer with scary precision. The AI recommends new leads you might have missed. It gives you those real-time social listening triggers we talked about earlier. And maybe the best part? TeamLink helps you find those critical warm introductions through your own colleagues. So let's bring this all home. We've talked strategy, we've talked tactics, and we've talked tools. But the future of selling, especially in a world that's getting more and more crowded with AI, really boils down to one simple human-first principle. And this right here is the single most important thing to remember from all of this. Artificial intelligence is an amazing tool. It can help you find prospects, schedule your content, and amplify your reach. It can scale distribution. But the one thing it cannot do, and will never be able to do, is scale trust. And that really leaves us with one final question to think about. As our world gets flooded with AI-generated content, and our radars for inauthenticity get sharper every day, isn't the ability to show up as a real, helpful, authentic human, isn't that your most defensible advantage? It might just be the only one you have left.